This is #1 bullshit.
Out of all of the Maddens out there, the ones that are on, I guess I'll say, non-main platforms have some hidden game modes that aren't often talked about. Madden on the Wii had this mode with big heads. Madden on the PS2 had Superstar Career Mode, and Madden 08 on the PSP had a new feature called NFL Superstar Challenge. Now heading into this mode, it's essentially Madden moments. There are 5 tiers, and in each tier there are 5 challenges for a total of 25, with each tier getting more and more difficult, or so you would think. Now, to be honest with you, the first 3 tiers are not really anything special, and anyone can get by them with relative ease, except for one of them, but we'll get into that. I just want to talk about a couple things that came up while playing this mode. Firstly, this is the PSP, so we lose out on some things, most notably the screen space. If your receiver isn't lined up in the slot or running towards the middle of the field, it's just guesswork on if they're actually open or not. You have to activate the 6th sense, but instead of seeing ghosts, you're sensing how uncovered a receiver is. Or you could just chuck it out in the open like I do. Sometimes I look like I'm playing for the other team, other times I'm out here looking like Daredevil. Another thing we lose out on because of the PSP's limitations was the right analog stick, which means no hit stick or highlight stick. My brain automatically reaches for the right stick that isn't there. You know what? Screw Hideo Kojima, this is the real phantom pain. They replaced this with holding the triangle button and moving the PSP's little micro stick nub. What was this even called? Which was pretty cumbersome. I'd also like to say that every defender in this game should just go by the name Alex Pereira, because these dudes got hands of stone. So many picks that were dropped, it's actually crazy. My ball hawk skills are being wasted. Bros must have put motor oil on their hands instead of stickum, because I just don't understand why this happens. Whoever made the Seahawks playbook should be arrested on the spot because there's no shotgun formation. But then again, it's not the worst offensive decision in Seahawks history. Now, I cleared the challenges in the first 3 tiers except for one. This one where you have to make a 61-yard field goal. Now, when it comes to kicking in this game, it's weird. Firstly, the camera always starts out on a close-up of your ass. Secondly, I feel like the ball doesn't travel when kicked. Like, I can get a good rating on this meter and the ball will not even travel 20 yards. It's like trying to kick a field goal on King Kai's planet. This makes kicking in general harder than it needs to be. But for this one, it feels like it's impossible, especially when stuff like this happens. So after trying again and again and again and again and again, I finally got one through. How? I have no clue, but I'm not going to question it. Tier 4 is when the BS starts. Previous tiers were rather simple: score a touchdown or kick a field goal or stop the offense, so on and so on. But this tier introduces multi-step challenges, so I'll introduce you to the challenge Eli Manning. This is one of those multi-step challenges. Firstly, you have to make a 34-yard field goal, which you think is automatic, but like I said earlier, kicking is harder than it looks. A good rating means you're doing a social distance kick, because that shit's only going 6 feet. But once you get past that, you have to win the game in overtime. Now, to start off overtime, you get to choose whether you want the ball or not if you win a coin toss. This coin must be working for the feds, because no matter what, the Eagles win the coin toss. Must be flipping that double-headed Chris Angel coin or some shit. And since I always lose the coin toss, we have to stop the Eagles from scoring. Yes, that's right, I said scoring. If you can believe it or not, this game was made when the NFL overtime rules were even worse than they are now. All you need is a field goal to win. Now, I thought this was going to be easy. We breezed through these challenges so far, but the CPU is leaned in on this tier. As soon as overtime started, they ran a kick return touchdown. The next time, a long run to seal the game. That's when I knew we were in some trouble. The CPU makes way better decisions, along with seemingly being faster, and the amount of tackles they break is just absurd. But that's not even the worst of it. They are stoppable on offense, but on defense, these dudes are just on point. I feel like they play man coverage a lot, which is normally a good thing because your receivers have time to get some separation. But everyone is covered at all times. Even when you think, oh, look, I have a wide receiver open. Get that shit out of here! Damn, running the ball? Forget about it. You're gonna run into a mosh pit each time. You are essentially running into a wall.
4-3.
Or a clothesline from hell.
Line up in a 4-3.
And of course, when the CPU needs to make a field goal, it's no problem. So later on, since my field goal kicking isn't good, I don't go for this field goal on the 37-yard line. I didn't convert on 4th down, but I eventually stopped them on offense, but my game is ended once my receivers decided to all congregate in the middle of the field, thus leading to an interception. But I lied because I picked that ball right back, drive all the way down the field, fighting for every precious inch, and we finish it. The rest of the challenges on this tier were difficult, but nothing too crazy, except this one. In this, you are the Titans against the Giants. You have to score a touchdown to tie, then stop them on defense, then score again. While this sounds simple on the surface, things are about to become much more difficult when you realize that Vince Young is about as accurate as guessing C on a multiple choice quiz. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not even in the same zip code. Look, we got one-on-one on the outside. Look, he's running wide open across the field. Even when he makes a good throw, receivers just have these sure-handed touchdowns clank off their hands. No ratchet. I tie the game up, but the Giants immediately run for a touchdown. So now I have to play all strategically, aka playing like a bitch. So I try to drain as much clock as I can when I score, because it would force overtime and we could leave it up to a coin toss to hopefully get the ball back without ever having to actually face the Giants offense. Secondly, in this game, Vince Young throws the ball as well as his bar altercations. So we're gonna use his speed. And it works, but he has like cigarette smoker cardio because he slows down after about 2 seconds of running. With this new strategy, we move the ball a little. With the clock about to expire, Vince Young throws his best pass of this video just for it to be called out of bounds, barely. On a later try, I would eventually tie the game, and then...
Throws it. Right on target to the wide receiver.
Listen, I'm not even gonna play the rest of that clip. You know what just happened. But attempts and attempts and attempts later, we would score with 0 seconds remaining. All right, let's kick that PAT and head right into overtime. Yeah, so I'm guessing the game thought the game was over once 0 seconds hit, even though in real life you get a chance to kick the PAT. So tries later, we score, kick the PAT, and stop their amazing ability to run kicks back. Now, let's go on into overtime. No! So they want you to score, then stop them on defense, then score again, all within 3 minutes with only 1 timeout, and in a universe where the 2-minute warning doesn't even exist? What kind of challenge is this? And this is where the quality of the video, or what little there already was, goes way down. After that last disappointment, I paused my recording on OBS to reevaluate my life, but when I came back, I eventually completed the challenge. But I forgot to resume the recording.
Dumbass.
This is one of those times where the phrase, "just trust me, bro," is just that. Just trust me that I completed this. The quality also goes down because this 5th tier is disappointing. No crazy over-the-top obstacle to overcome or anything. I completed the first 2 challenges in 1 try and the rest weren't really all that difficult, which leads to this anticlimactic ending where you don't even unlock anything after completing it. Madden Superstar Challenge is one of those things that's barely documented on the internet. If you were to search it, you'd get more results about Superstar mode, which was the career mode. And really, that's fine. Thanks to Short CB for telling me about this, and maybe we'll get to the future versions of this someday.
Or not.